Alright guys, so we're gonna try something new. So for starters, I have a mic filter, so I just wanted to see how that works on my voice. But in the meantime, while I kind of test that out, forgot to turn on my webcam's light. We will just go over future cards that are going to be coming to the TCG eventually. I don't have a date on when these cards will be available to us, but they will be here soon. That's all I have to say. So some cards that caught my attention: Master of the Light and Darkness Dragon. So one already cool art, right? We've got like some sort of like Yugi slash like Kaiba slash I don't even know. I was like kind of going through it and I was like, Light and Darkness Dragon. Now that's a name I haven't heard in a while. Then I kind of went down. I was like, oh, okay, so this is interesting. Ignoring the summoning conditions, that's always a fun one. Special summon one Light and Darkness Dragon from your deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. So already I saw this and I was like, yo, I don't need to read any other part of this card. I'm in. What else you got for me? I love it. If you control End Dragon, Light or Darkness Dragon monster, or a monster that's all right, whatever. Banish as many cards on the field as possible except Light and Dark monsters, and if you do, face-up monsters on the field that were not banished by this effect are unaffected by card effects this turn except their own. Okay, so that's pretty nuts. You can banish this card from your graveyard and 2 dragon monsters, 1 light, 1 dark, from your hand and or graveyard. And if you do, special summon 1 legendary light and darkness dragon from your extra deck, or 1 light and darkness dragon from your ignoring. Bro, light and darkness dragon might be a thing in the future. If that is a thing, I highly recommend picking up some ultra rares over here, guys. These super rares, you can get like super rares for like $1 right now. But bro, do I have it? No, I have the ultra rare. But these secret rares, damn, those are expensive. I wonder if they're actually like being bought out right now and nobody knows about this, because the market price is $115. They're currently being $121, $2, and then it's $130. These are still at market price, so nobody's touching those. Although, like, you might, you know what I'm saying? Either way, I would keep an eye on this. I already have my play sets from a long time ago because I used to be a Blue Eyes player, and like this caught my attention. If you don't know what it does. It can't be special summoned. That's why those cards have the ignoring the summoning conditions. They are also treated as dark as they are light and dark. When this card is face up on the field, negate the activation of all effect monsters, spell cards, and trap cards. So basically, like, this is literally this is mandatory. Like, as soon as you even activate a spell card, this is going to negate it. Negate the activation. And then on top of that, what happens so that this isn't just like an infinite negate is that you got to decrease this card's attack and defense by 500. Select one monster in your graveyard, then destroy all cards on your side of the field, and special summon the chosen monster from your graveyard to your side of the field. So that's also really good. I don't remember reading this. Oh, destroy all cards on your side of the field. Okay. Still, monster reborn, that's not bad. So definitely something to keep an eye out. But the fact was, you just kind of like remember, it's like, oh wow, you're just gonna keep negating, and there is no choice. Like, and it's not once per chain. As soon as something happens, it's just like negate, 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 negate. Anyways, I started blasting. A huge boost to fairies. So this card's like, if this card is normal or special summoned, you can send 1 fairy monster from your deck or extra deck to the graveyard. And if you kind of remember, there's like that one Herald Synchro that allows you to add a ritual monster or spell. And then you can increase its level by that. So that's pretty nut busted. Also, you could just send in a fairy to the graveyard. I don't know a lot of fairy cards that trigger in graveyard. But bro, on top of that, if this card is tributed, like based off the rituals or whatever, you can special summon one level 2 or lower fairy monster from your hand or deck. Broken, dude. Fairies. Alright, so fairies might be a thing again. That's actually nut busted. And it's a fucking tuner. Oh. Bro. So you could fucking special summon it off Christian Needlefiber. Oh, that card is actually disgusting. Union Carrier. I heard about this card. It's why the Buster Blader cards went up, because you just attach the one that doesn't allow extra deck summoning while equipped. Cannot be used as link material. The turn is link summoned. Okay, okay. You can target one face-up monster you control. Equip one monster with the same original type or original attribute as that target from your hand or deck. Equip spell that makes it gain 1,000 attack. But if you equip from the deck, you cannot special summon monsters with the same name as that monster card for the rest of this turn. Okay, yeah, so this is definitely broken. For sure. Same type or attribute. Oh, so they made it super easy by making it type or attribute. So you can just have 2 darks. It's pretty fucking gross. Yeah, I can see why this is going to be a nut-busted card. Another fairy tuner. If this, oh yeah, so if this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can target one face-up monster on each player's field, change them to face-down defense position, and if you do, special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. Okay, so this is like really good. And I was kind of thinking we will go over these future cards, like the Red Eyes card that literally everybody's talking about. And in my last video, I said that every OCG deck competitively is playing it. It's a tier 0 format. Not really. The tier 0 aspect of it is every deck that I've seen in the OCG is playing the Red Eyes Fusion engine. However, it only takes up like maybe 2 extra deck slots and like 5 of your cards in your main deck to basically make it like that, and it's super nut busted. This card is in your hand or graveyard. You can target one face. Oh, yeah. So I was kind of thinking like, oh, maybe you sub-terrors, you know, you flip them face down. Anything with flip effects, Shaddolls, all that good stuff. But the thing is, it targets. And like, I was reading these future cards. Like, a lot of these future cards are like power creep cards. They just like really don't want to be targeted. And we'll get to that. LINKROSS, this is one of those cards that's part of degenerate combos, Christian Needlefiber combos, like basically one Link Glow Up Bulb plus quick launch kind of thing, like just like this card facilitates degeneracy. Since it's a Cyberse, it might be coming in our next set. Which I believe is a side set. The Magician's one? Not too sure. TBH. Here's another one. Right, can't target this, bitch. This card's super good because you can negate once per turn, right? Quick effect. Yeah, you can only use this effect. Dude, this card's sick. Can't wait to play this card. It's like one of those cards, though, like, you'd have to build your deck around it. But either way, having a new Borrel card is cool. Yeah. This one, okay, so I haven't read this one too much, but let's check it out. Must be link summoned. Okay, 5 monsters. That's pretty generic. If I remember correctly, yeah, okay, so here's the part. If this card is link summoned using dark, earth, water, fire, and wind monsters as material, so everything but light, you can destroy all cards your opponent controls. Okay, like there are better cards for how hard you would be. Like, you know, this is incredibly difficult to get to this point. To destroy all cards your opponent controls is not that bad. One, you would want to banish them face down, and two, what about the cards in their hands, you know? Unaffected by other card effects, also cannot be destroyed by battle with blank. So only light's gonna mess this guy up. So that's just disgusting because it's like, okay, so only a light monster is going to be able to destroy this with, okay. But that's honestly, even then, it's like you can easily get around this. Yeah. One, like for example, you could, oh, it's unaffected. Oh wow, that actually could be kind of difficult. So it's unaffected by other card effects, right? And that is irrelevant to the fact of link summoning it using Dark Earth, Water. So like you can just send out 5 monsters, right? They can all be tokens, all of them tokens, right? You could, yeah, freaking destroy all cards once per turn, so it doesn't have to be blank all this. Once per turn during your opponent's end phase, banish 5 cards from your graveyard face down if you cannot send this card to the graveyard during your opponent's end phase. Okay, so you can basically attack with it once, and then ideally you have what you sent to the graveyard for this. So you can basically have this for 4 turns before it gets sent to the graveyard. Your opponent just needs to survive, which again, not an issue. I know one of you guys were talking about TRAPTRIX, so we'll go over this card. This one's coming out supposedly. If this card is unaffected by trap effects while it has material, pretty standard for the TRAPTRIX archetype, you can only use each of the effects. You can detach 2 materials from this card, special summon one level 4 insect or plant monster from your graveyard. So it's like, okay, the TRAPTRIX cards, sure, all right. If a monster your opponent control leaves the field because of your card effect and is now in the graveyard or banished, so basically, you know, like I pointed out, Network Trap Hold, that banishes face down. You can detach 1 material from this card, then target one of those monsters. So you can't target it with Network Trap Hold, but like, again, like another thing, all the trap cards like destroy or whatever. So that was like the only one that this wouldn't work for, but still banishing anything face down is like really good. Then target one of those monsters and special summon it to your field. So that's really nice. Like, let's say you like do a whole card that destroys, what's it called? Galatea, and then you special summon Galatea to your field, and then boom, you already have a Dingirsu in your extra deck. Just overlay that, just use that. That would be amazing. Not bad, I'd say. Galaxy Eyes Afterglow Dragon. So I read this already, I think. Yeah. If you control a Galaxy Eyes monster, okay, so this one's got the colon, so it is activated. Boom, special summon it. If this card is detached from Xyz monster to activate that monster's effect, you can take 1 Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from your hand or deck and either special summon it or attach it to an Xyz monster you control as material. Then, if this was effect activated during the battle phase, double the attack of all number Xyz monsters you control. Okay, so that's disgusting because like a lot of the number Xyz monsters honestly are pretty big, you know? I'm thinking of number 81 in my head. The Photon, Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. That's like 4K, I believe. If it's number 81. If it's not 81, then that's fine. There's plenty of cards that this makes really good. Another thing is, it is a level 8 and searchable by Melody, so it's cool. Deep Blue Eyes. So I used to play Blue Eyes before I played Spirals, and then Spirals I played Pendulum, then I went back to Spirals, then I just diddly-daddled. Then I've been playing Thunder Dragons and Dragon Link recently, and now I'm playing Dino Dragon Thunder True King. It's like it's a monstrosity. Like my deck is like really just like insane. But I'll show you guys the deck list one day, and I'll show you some gameplay. It's really cool, and it's really creative, I think. I've been getting a lot of compliments from it. If this card is special summon, you could add 1 ritual spell or 1 polymerization from your deck to your hand. Okay, so it's a +1. Now, here's the big thing, though, which is what they should have just put in the start of the card, because it could be a little bit confusing. You can only activate these effects while there's a Blue Eyes White Dragon on your field or graveyard. So during your end phase, you can add 1 level 8 or higher dragon monster from your deck to your hand. So plus. You can banish this card from your graveyard. All level 8 or higher dragon monsters you control gain 1000 attack. You can only use each effect of blank once per turn. So, yep, pretty good. If it stays on the field throughout to your end phase, you're going to be basically adding 2 off of this card, +2, right? And then you can, this isn't really a +1 in any aspect, but it does give you a OTK potential, and we all know Blue Eyes tries to do that. Okay, so we have finally entered the point of, you know, what everybody's been talking about, these Red Eye Fusion cards, or Red Eyes Fusion and all that. So this boy right here is currently out in OCG. I haven't seen anything about this, but let's just pretend this is a real card. This boy, though, okay, so it's a level 8, 3k attack, 2500 defense. So your basic Blue Eyes. Neither player can target or destroy this card with card effects. Okay, so it's kind of interesting. You can't target it with your own card effects, so that's kind of nice. And you can't destroy it with your own. Okay. Dark Magician plus Red Eyes or a Dragon Effect monster. Okay. During your main phase, you can destroy 1 monster your opponent controls, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original attack. That's pretty good. You can just pop a monster. That's nice. And then the second part, you can use this effect a number of times per turn, up to the number of normal monsters used as fusion material for this card's summon. So if you send Red Eyes and Dark Magician, those are 2 normal monsters, so you'll get 2 pops, okay? That's really good. Just like right there, amazing card. You can Red Eyes Fusion it, sending the materials from the deck to the graveyard, so you're getting Red Eyes Fusion for 1 monster on the board, which doesn't even take up the extra deck slot starting April. It's a level 8, so you can overlay it. Can't be targeted or destroyed by card effects, right? Amazing. So it's pretty big, and again, you can burn, pop, pretty good. All of that right there would have made it like a decently fair card, in my opinion. Here's where it gets nut bleepin' busted. Once per turn. That's a soft once per turn, by the way. When a card or effect is activated, okay, card or effect, so we're talking monsters, spells, traps, you can discard 1 card, okay, just negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card, throw it on the ground, and if you do that, this card gains 1000 attack. Okay, it can't be destroyed by card effects, can't be targeted, and now it's going to be gaining 1000 attack when you negate your opponent's stuff. The cost is very minimal, and you get a pop stuff. This thing is busted. So I saw another YouTuber review this card, and he was like, "This is the most unfair card I've ever seen in Yu-Gi-Oh!" And I'm not inclined to agree, but like, you gotta ask yourself, like, if you were to just start making up cards, you know, like, this is like one of those cards that like you would think you would see in the custom cards of Dueling Book. It negates, you can boost it to an infinite amount of whatever. It's soft once per turn. You can special summon it off like materials from Red Eyes Fusion, which is like from deck. You can pop 2 cards and burn them. Can't target, can't be destroyed. Disgusting. So yeah, as soon as this card comes out, like, what's kind of good about it is every deck can play it. So yeah, I just don't understand why they would ever release a card like that. Okay. At least you contribute it. Like with, you know what I'm talking about. Dark Magician, Blue Eyes, White Dragon, blah. Right, so this is the Blue Eyes version of the one. And this one actually is a level 9. So that's kind of interesting. Same stuff. During your main phase, you can... Okay, so this one, you take one monster from your deck and send it to the graveyard. You can do it twice if you send 2 normal monsters. Okay, this is kind of harder because Blue Eyes doesn't have Red Eyes Fusion. So maybe this card is out right now, but like it's not seeing play because it's kind of harder to get to those 2 cards and whatever. Not sure, but if this card came out, I'd be really happy because I love all Blue Eyes support. I think everybody does. This card gains attack equal to the monster's original attack. So that's pretty insane. Like, you could send, like, one of the god cards, Obelisk, and boom, this thing's a freaking 7,500 beat stick. I wonder if that's good. You're gonna need this to get over this. Like, damn. Yeah, you... Jesus. They're just... If this is, like, the direction we're going in 2020 for Yu-Gi-Oh cards, y'all better, like, y'all better buckle up, because this is about to get wild, 2020 Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, seriously, like, you would think they'd be coming out with, like, some new summoning mechanic or something to make it crazy, like Links. But no, what they're doing is they're just like, yo, what can we do to just make these cards, like, nut busted? Like, we're like, we want these kids to, like, we want to take it to the next level. Game changer. Yeah, they're like, once per turn, when a card or effect is activated, you can banish 1 random card from your extra deck face down, negate the activation. Oh, bro, you don't even have to pay real cost. You get 1 random card from your extra deck. Okay, at least it's random. Could you imagine if, like, you get to choose which extra deck card you get to banish face down? And if you do banish the card that you negated, is it face down too? And if you do that, draw 1 card. No, dude, it's not real, dude. If this card exists, okay, the reason why I'm like, this card has to exist is because this card exists. Okay, I'm just over here like, yo, there's no way that's a card. But then you look over here and you're like, but that's actually a card. So maybe if you do draw 1 card, I can't, like, and if you do add Pot of Greed to your hand, I can't, dude. I hate, oh my god. I'm not gonna lie, this is stupid. This is gonna, like, ruin Yu-Gi-Oh! But, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Has been kind of stale recently, so fuck it. Let's have some fun. Let's just, like, get it to the point, like, original Yu-Gi-Oh! Where it's like, you're just like, every turn, huge ass swings. Like, oh, I summoned this one, and it's like, all of a sudden you got this one on the board, and you're just like, this guy's like, fuck, sweating, even though this card's nut busted. Okay, so this one has got to be fake. I think this person started making things off the Dragoon archetype. But this one, let's just read it, okay? I find these hilarious, by the way. Just to at least go over them. Oh, by the way, thank you for Mr. Alan Mac 95 on DeviantArt.com for letting me look at your amazing artwork, and thank you for publishing this stuff well before it's actually released. TCG. So, let's get let me have a drink of water. That draw 1 card had me triggered. Negate, banish, don't pay cost, and draw a card. Cyber and Dragon. Okay, so that's kind of hard to get out. 1 level 8 Blackluster Soldier monster. That's really easy to get out. So basically, you just, yeah, okay. Must first be special summoned from your extra deck During a duel, you special summon both cards by banishing the above cards from your field and or graveyard. So this is really interesting because one Cyber End Dragon, I believe you can actually special summon it like off a trap card. You just special summon it. It's not a full fusion summon or any of that stuff. So because it doesn't say fusion summon on this one, this might be easier to get out or special summon Cyber End Dragon. So banishing the above cards from your field and or graveyard. So you could just like use these two cards, get them off the field, put them in your graveyard, then you could special summon this card. Let's see what it does. Gains 500 attack for each monster in your graveyard. Not only is this thing 5,000 attack, it's gonna gain an extra 500. Jesus Christ, for each monster in your graveyard. This Yu-Gi-Oh's got me so triggered. Like, I know that this one at least is probably fake, but like having read Dragoon of Red Eyes or whatever, you're just like, maybe it isn't. Maybe this is real, bro. Once per turn, you can take up to 3 cards from your opponent's main deck. What? And place them on top of their main deck, face down, and in any order. You can just go through your opponent's deck like that and then just be like, this is what you're gonna have the next 3 draws. Jesus Christ. Hey, this is gonna be good in spirals. The soft ones per turn. I'm gonna throw up. Okay, this card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. That's cool. It's not like, you know, this card can make 7 attacks per turn. That'd be sick. If this fusion summon card, what do you mean this fusion summon card? It's special summoned. What? Doesn't make any sense. Banish all cards you're... Okay, yeah, that last line doesn't exist, so it's got to be fake, right? This I know is for real. So 2 monsters, including a winged beast monster. That's not hard at all because you can get the Harpy Link, which is just like 2 wind monsters, I believe, and then boom, the third one is like whatever you want. It'd be a freaking token for anybody cares, whatever. Special summon 1 winged beast monster from your hand or deck at the end of the turn during the end phase, any end phase, right? Whose level is equal or lower than the number of unoccupied spell and traps zones on the field. So that's very easy. If you're turn 1 and you make this, you're for sure getting your Apex Avian out. Can't be targeted, and the winged beast cards can't be targeted. So mind control is amazing. JK, it's not amazing against us. If this card would be destroyed by battle, you can destroy 1 SIMORGH card instead. So yeah, this hopefully can come out soon so we can get that infinite negate engine. Gizmek, Mikazuchi the Nuclear Emperor. If a monster in the extra monster zone is in the extra monster zone, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can target 1 face-up monster in the extra monster zone. Equip that face-up monster to this card as an equip spell. Okay, 1 max. Okay, so sure. It is a level 9, I believe. Okay. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can special summon 1 monster you control equipped to this card. Okay, cool. All right, so that's interesting. Yeah, it's a level 9. You can special summon it super easily, and then you can take it and then destroy a monster. It's pretty big beat stick. Then you can special summon it. It's fire. It's one of the Gizmeks. Whoops. So yeah, that's really interesting. I like it. I really do. Especially with the new format, I really do like this. I don't know if this is actually going to be a card though, but it's sick. Okay, so this card's coming out, I know for sure, eventually, and everybody plays 3 of it. You can only activate 1. Oh no. If you control no face-up cards, you can activate 1. Destroy all attack position monsters your opponent controls. Destroy all spell and traps your opponent controls. This thing is nut busted. That's all anybody has to say about that, period. Oh, okay, so this is another thing. I wonder if this is the last archetype / cards I'm going over. They are. Okay, so megaliths. I believe they are coming out in either the next side set, the Magician's one, or this is coming out in the next main set. But either way, at the end of the month is January 1st. Happy New Year's, by the way. Like, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. This will be out at the end of the month. I believe that the megaliths, the main attraction to them is they don't use ritual cards, what I've been told. You can ritual summon this card with any megalith card. Okay. During the main phase, you can discard this card. Okay. Ritual summon one megalith ritual monster from your hand by tributing monsters from your hand or field whose blank. Okay, so this is a ritual spell card, in addition to it being a ritual monster. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a card you control, you can place one ritual monster from your graveyard on the bottom of the deck, and if you do, negate the activation, and if you do that, destroy that card. Okay, so this is really good because you're going to be able to negate, and then the cost of that negate is actually not that bad. Yeah, so that's actually pretty good. Level 8, 2k, more of a defense monster. This one's more of a defense monster. Also, these are 8 rock, earth. I mentioned Block Dragon only being a certain price. I would recommend maybe considering getting Block Dragon again, because from what I heard, Block Dragon would go great in this deck because of the ad, the fact that it's Block Dragon, what yada yada. Okay, so yeah, ritual summon this card with the megalith. This ritual. Okay, so it seems so far each megalith card has the ability to be ritual summoned with any megalith card, and then you can discard that card to ritual summon. So they act as the ritual spell themselves. If you don't have the ritual spell, because they are the ritual spells. Whichever you have 2 copies of, you just use. If this card is ritual summon, you can target cards your opponent controls up to the number of ritual monsters in your graveyard with different names, destroy them. Okay, so it is targeting, but still, up to the ritual monsters in your graveyard. That's pretty cool. Okay, so it seems like there's a big graveyard thing here. You want a bunch of them in the grave. Another 8. You can ritual summon this card with any blank. You can only use this blank. All monsters gain 300 in attack for each ritual monster in your grave. So you're probably going to want one of these. Blank. Okay, so this one. Okay, so this is a 4. Okay, interesting. This is a 4. And that's important because this second line is different now. If this card is ritual summoned, you can draw 1 card. Then discard 1 card. Okay, that's pretty good. Like, really good. During the main phase. Quick effect. Okay, you can ritual summon 1 ritual monster from your hand. Okay, so you can do it on your opponent's turn. Interesting. By triggering monsters from your hand or field, okay. Including this card. So is that mandatory, I guess? Okay, interesting. So you have to use this card. Alright. 2700 defense on a level 4. Okay. That's interesting. Okay, so they're rocks. They got big defense. I get it. HAGITH. Okay, if this one's ritual summoned, you can add 1 megalith spell or trap from your deck to your hand. Okay, yes, I do. I did hear that they have spell and trap support. During the main phase, you can ritual summon 1 ritual. Okay, so this is not a quick effect. By tributing, including this card. Okay, got it. This one adds, the other one draws. Now, this one's another 4. This one adds monsters, the other one was spell and trap. Got it. And so, okay, so I don't understand why they didn't put this second line that varies at the end. Either way, during your main phase, you can ritual summon one ritual monster from your hand by triggering monsters from your hand or field, including this card. Okay. So I see why the quick effect one is really good. I get it. I do. Alright, the first time each ritual summon monster would be destroyed by battle each turn, it is not destroyed. Okay, so it's kind of like Dragonic Diagram, but no attack boost, but that's fine. Nobody really cared about the attack boost from Dragonic Diagram anyways. If a Megalith monster is special summoned, so it says Megalith monster. Are there non-ritual ones? Maybe they're coming out with a link. Is a special summon, you can target one ritual monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. Okay, so that's good because you know, you use the effect of the ritual card to use it as a spell. You can only use this effect once per turn. Okay, that's not bad. And then the trap. You can target one level 4 or lower monster you control. Its level becomes double its original level. That makes sense because they're 4 and 8s. Until the end of this turn. Even if this card leaves the field, you can only use this effect of blank once per turn. So this is also kind of interesting because I believe there is a level 4 Xyz that just came out in Chaos Impact that allows you to add a rock monster. So that monster actually, probably that's like what that Xyz is for. Because people are wondering what the fuck that ultra rare like was for. Like nobody's playing rocks. Okay, you can target one Megalith monster in your graveyard, special summon it in defense position, but place at the bottom deck when it leaves the field. Okay, so interesting stuff. Okay, so yeah, I can definitely see this appeal of Megaliths, but the problem at the same time is like there's nothing like crazy about them, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, okay, you can add, they can't be destroyed maybe once per turn, and then like, yeah, some of them you can pop cards, whatever, but, like, well, there is a negate, but you haven't seen, yeah, they like can ritual summon themselves without a ritual spell, but I think this is like, I think this is more of a floating deck, maybe, just kind of like a BA where it's like it's hard to push through them. You know, you got to break them to their fucking, but they keep coming back, kind of thing. Yeah, we're gonna have to see with this. It's definitely interesting. Me as a collector, I'll definitely end up getting the cards and such, but we'll have to see. I can't wait. I can't wait for like rituals and stuff. I already got all my ritual support ready to go. Yeah. All right. Well, see you next time, boys. Like, subscribe, and stuff. Let's see how the audio sounds.